Well, one person who's calling out Western leaders is the Ukrainian activist who yesterday confronted Boris Johnson for not doing enough to protect her country from the Russian invasion.
Daria Kaleniuk, who is from Kiev, stunned the Prime Minister during his trip to Poland when she made her impassioned plea for a no-fly zone.
And Ukrainian people are desperately asking for the West to protect our sky. I see that my family members, that my team members are saying that we are crying. We don't have where to run.
And Daria joins us now from Warsaw. Daria, thank you for being here. It was an impassioned plea to our Prime Minister. You're asking for a no-fly zone. Help us understand why that's important.
The most devastating things which Russians are doing, they are sending missiles, and these missiles are hitting hospitals, they are hitting kindergartens, they are hitting churches, they are hitting universities, and they are destroying everything. So Ukrainian army is strong enough on the ground, but we don't have enough protection for our sky. We don't have enough air defense systems. And what I was begging Boris Johnson yesterday is actually to impose either a no-fly zone or alternative solution for the NATO, which will enable NATO planes and air defense systems to hit Russian missiles which are over the Ukrainian sky. And that's, we are hearing a lot of support from the Western partners. We are saying that humanitarian aid is coming, but actually, it's impossible even to deliver humanitarian aid now to Donetsk, to occupied territories of the far east of Ukraine. And in days, these people will be dying, just there will be no water, no food, no heating, no electricity, no medicine. And if there will be no protection of Ukrainian skies, there will be no even opportunity to evacuate these people. And you told that Ukrainian children with cancer are now in basements receiving their chemotherapy in Kiev, but there is no way out how to evacuate them from Kiev now. And how can you do that without protecting sky?
Daria,
imagine humanitarian aid and evacuation plans to come under, under the situation when a missile can hit them any time.
Daria, Daria, I'm going to interrupt you because it's very, very important that we get your full message out there and we understand the position. It's quite clear that Putin is deliberately waging a campaign of aggressive war to starve the people of Kiev and other cities in Ukraine, which is unequivocally and without question a war crime. And those aid drops will have to happen. How that happens without a no-fly zone is difficult. One of the concerns, you'll understand, Daria, is that the West and NATO allies are not under an obligation to assist Ukraine, and there is real concern about wider escalation and this elevating into a state of, and it may be alarmist, but that's what people are concerned about, Third World War. What do you have to say to that, Daria?
I want to say to that their Western partners, specifically the United Kingdom and the United States, are obliged to protect Ukraine. Ukraine had the largest nuclear arsenal after the collapse of the Soviet Union. We gave up this arsenal under the assurances from the United Kingdom, United States, and Russia that if there will be security risks to our country, these three countries will protect us. So Russia is shelling bombs, sending missiles to Ukrainian kids, and United Kingdom and the United States are saying, well, we don't have any obligations. We are afraid of the World War III. You guys deal with these missiles yourself. Is that how West is actually adhering to the obligations? And I want to say one important message is that Ukraine has 4 nuclear power plants, and Russian missiles can hit them any moment. They were about to hit Ukrainian dam on Dnipro River. If Ukrainian defense system didn't defend that missile and it hit that missile, we could have already 1 million or even more murders of civilians. So Vladimir Putin doesn't care where to shut his missiles. And it's now the immediate threat to NATO. And NATO has to intervene and actually to help us to protect our sky. We are not asking for NATO soldiers here. And you know what? There was one more important message I told to Boris Johnson, and it's about oligarchs which are sitting there in London and have the most luxurious real estate in Great Britain. And Boris Johnson was saying about the unprecedented sanctions ever. I agree. However, we have unprecedented war ever after the World War III. And we see that people like Roman Abramovich, Viktor Vekselberg, Alisher Usmanov, Oleg Deripaska, these are Putin proxies, Putin wallets. They are war criminals as well, and they are not being sanctioned. And their villas and mansions are still there, not arrested in London. They are selling them.
Daria, you'll be pleased to hear, although it's never been used for reasons which no doubt will be thought about and discussed in due course, that unexplained wealth orders have been available to the government since January of 2018. We could have taken back all of this wealth when they were benefiting from Putin, even then. Perhaps your message to the government is to use the tools they already have. They didn't even need sanctions, you may say.
Daria, we appreciate your time this morning.
Thank you for your time and be safe.
Yep.